You're thinking too small and it's destroying your life. For years, I was setting logical goals, safe goals, goals that really made sense, and I stayed stuck. Then I read this 48-page book called U Squared by Price Pritchett, and it literally destroyed everything I thought I knew about success. 3 weeks before my wedding, I quit my six-figure job with literally no backup plan. My back was severely against the wall, and that decision changed everything in my life. Here's what this book taught me and why thinking small is killing your potential. For years, I was the problem. I just didn't know it. Most people try to get exponential results through incremental improvement. You think, if I work 10% harder, I'll get 10% better. That's what I did for years. So Pritchett uses this analogy. A fly is trying to escape through a closed window. It keeps banging against the glass, trying harder, buzzing frantically. But 3 feet away, there's an open door. The solution isn't more effort in the same direction. It's a completely different approach. I was working hard, really hard, gathering information, taking courses, reading books, but I kept banging my head against the glass. I kept trying to take myself from failure to success by doing more of what wasn't working. This is what Pritchett calls U squared, U to the second power. It's not about becoming twice as good. It's about exponential transformation. Here's the math. If you're at a level 10 and you double your effort, you get to 20. That's incremental. But if you square yourself, 10 squared is 100. That's a quantum leap. The problem? I was conditioned to think success was linear. It's not. But here's what I couldn't understand when I first read this book. I was struggling, and this book told me to think 10 times bigger. It made absolutely no sense. When I first read U Squared, I was broke, struggling, barely getting by. And Pritchett is telling me to create a 10x jump based on an effortless way. I remember thinking, this is absolutely insane. I don't even know how to pay my bills. And you want me to think about 10 times better? But here's what he was saying. Quantum leaps require unconventional behavior. You can't achieve extraordinary results doing what everyone else is doing. That was a game changer. You have to be willing to look crazy. Like when Jeff Bezos left Wall Street to sell books from his garage, he looked insane. Elon Musk, betting everything on electric cars and rockets. People thought he lost his mind. But here's the shift that changed everything for me. I stopped asking, how can I do this? And I started asking, what if this is already certain? Not possible, but certain. That question forced me out of incremental thinking and into a completely different reality. Instead of asking, how can I make an extra $5,000 a month? I started asking, what would I do if my success was guaranteed? That's when everything changed. But to get there, I had to let go of something that felt impossible to release. There I was, 3 weeks before my wedding, I quit my six-figure job. Pritchett says the thinking that got you here won't get you there. The you that you are today can't take you to your quantum leap destination. You have to let go. For me, that meant walking away from comfort, from security, from a six-figure salary. 3 weeks before my wedding, everyone thought I was out of my mind. My back was against the wall. No job, no opportunities, just a belief that there was something bigger. Pritchett uses the trapeze artist metaphor. To grab the next trapeze, you have to let go of the one you're holding. There's a moment of free fall. It's terrifying, uncertain. That was me. But here's what I learned. You can't create a quantum leap while holding on to comfort. Most people live the same year for 50 years and call it a life. Same job, same routine, same results. They're optimizing, not transforming. I had to bet on myself. And the moment I did, doors started opening, not because I had a plan, but because I was finally willing to operate in the unknown. And that's where most people get stuck. I didn't know how to measure being uncomfortable. Now I do. Pritchett calls it the gray zone, the space of ambiguity and uncertainty. Most people crave clarity, guarantees, certainty, but you can't create a quantum leap just with certainty. Here's what I learned. Act like your success is certain and stop holding back. Not hope it works out, not maybe this will happen. Act like it's already done. When I quit my job, I had no proof. I had faith, and I had to learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That became my measure. If I wasn't uncomfortable, I wasn't growing. Let me give you an example with one of my clients. He was plateaued, coasting, making decent money, but he was stuck. He was unfulfilled. I asked him, what's one quantum leap in your income that could change your life and your family's life? He gave me a number. And then I said, what if that's already certain? What would you do differently today? Within months, he had his income, his identity shifted, his relationship with himself transformed, not because he worked harder, because he thought differently. But here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Incremental thinking is a losing game. Here's what Pritchett taught me that most people will never accept. If you're not going after a quantum leap, you are going to consistently lose. Not stay the same, but lose. Because the world is moving so quickly, literally exponentially. Technology, competition, everything. If you're moving incrementally, you're falling behind. Stop overthinking, start doing. Pritchett says, quit analyzing the constraints and start thinking about how to work around them. I spent years gathering information, courses, books, seminars, but I wasn't implementing the few things that would actually move the needle. Then one day, when everything was going against me, I bet on myself, and all the doors started opening. Not because I finally had the answers, but because I finally took action. Ready, fire, aim. Momentum over perfection. That's the game. And we can do this in 3 steps starting right now. Step 1, identify your quantum leap goal. Not 20% better, 10 times better. What's one quantum leap in your income that will change your life, your family's life? Write that number down. Don't edit it. Step 2, act like your success is guaranteed. Stop asking, how can I do this? Start asking, what would I do if this was already guaranteed? That question changes the game. Step 3, take one uncomfortable action today, not tomorrow, today. Reach out to someone way above your level. Start that project you've been scared to begin. Make that investment that terrifies you. If it doesn't make you uncomfortable, you're not quantum leaping. You're optimizing, and optimizing is losing. Now let me ask you something. What's one quantum leap in your income that could change your life or your family's life? Comment that number. Let's hold each other accountable. Because if you don't declare it, you won't do it. Look, U squared is 48 pages. You can read it in under an hour, but it will destroy everything you think you know about success. The old you got you here. But to get where you want to go, you need to become U squared. You need to square yourself. Exponentially expand who you believe you're capable of becoming. 3 weeks before my wedding, I quit my 6-figure job with no backup plan, bet on myself, and built an 8-figure business, not because I was smarter, because I stopped thinking so small. Now, if you want to see the exact strategy I used to go from that moment to 7 figures a year for 18 years straight, I break it all down in the next video. Now, if you're ready to stop thinking small and start leveling up your life, watch this video next. And if you haven't yet, click and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you watching.